Subnormalities, my name is Shiz, and welcome to the What If Zuko was the son of scp-684, or the one and that has like multiple voices. So, and so I know that there probably was, of course, they gave birth to Zuko. So, yeah. He acts like them, but he goes to like a school because I'm making him immortal. I'm also making like Zuko immortal too. So, yeah. So the Zuko was, or SCP Foundation wanted to experiment on Zuko at first, but then Nezu came in and like said, no, how about we train him to act like a human, like us? So they did, as he comes and visits with his mother and spends time with her. So yeah. And I was gonna do the SCP, the Flesh That Hates one, but I'm like, should I really do it? Nah. So I chose this. So the next, or like a time skip thing, he ends up coming like, or he learns how to use human language, like his voice, as they have self-regeneration and self-healing. So yeah, and he's a he looks similar to it, but here looks like this. Yes, with eyes. So yeah, he was the only species that from in. So yeah. So I'm skipping the ball throw and like heroes versus villains. And who's the one that like had more interested in Zuko, by the way? Frog Girl. No. So yeah. So Frog Girl always looks up to him like a big brother, because she knows about him. Like, of course, he looks at her, and then he looks away. So, and at the USJ, he basically like 13, he's like, is panicking, or everyone's panicking, because villains are attacking, as only person that really knows what to do is Zuko Midoriya. As, because he knows he divides a plan. So he says, 13. Get them out. Get them out. As he he didn't like eat Mr. Aizawa, but he can learn. He does have same scent as like his mother. So he ends up going and like tearing a wall up, or he breaks a wall as he says, "Get out, get out." It's what he's saying. So they're like, okay. So, yeah. Then he says to 13, I am going to go get a Racerhead. Get him out of here. Okay? As he wasn't like too intelligent, not enough, but he knows what he's saying. So he runs down the steps at his like beastly he ones. So he ends up going toe to toe with the Nomu, ripping its arms off, ripping its brain out, all that stuff. As he grabs Mr. Aizawa, as he says, "Don't die, don't die." As he picks him up, he jumped all the way back to the stairs, ran right out. As one of the villains shot his quirk at him, and right in the shoulder, as 13 in saw like what they tried to do, as he tells 13 to go, like, go, take him. As, yeah, he gets back up, as he's more ravenous creature, similar to his mother. Like, he ran around the entire USJ, hurting, like, everybody. Like, he, like, basically hurts all the villains that were in that facility. As when the pro heroes got there, he gets his head up, turns and looks at them. As All Might says, wow, you took care of everything. As, I may gone overboard. Or I may gone overboard. Heard a bit. Then, as they are like looked at him like, well, yeah, so that's why I'm skipping the like sports festival because he wasn't in the sports festival, and he met Zumi before. Yeah. So then when he went to he does a lot of things. So yeah, he took care of 1,000 Nomus, and he also like did like his species does, killed all those nomus. As he looks up at them and like he so yeah, he's basically like a dominant one. So I'm skipping the Cambark because it's the same thing in canon. So then, but he did take care of Hero Killer Stain before. Basically, put him as his nickname is the Ultimate Lizard. I don't know what species they are, so I'll just say lizards. So, yeah. So they, like, ran around, and he spends time with his mother, her, as they are talking about how school went, and he says, not bad, but still trying to learn how to speak normally, as they know that he's not lying. So, but they share a telepath together, like mind link. As his mother tells him that if you want to date that girl, go right ahead. Or if she asks you, go right ahead. As, yeah, in this alternate timeline, the mother of that, and, or is that, is not aggressive to her son. None of her species, or because she or he's part of her species. So yeah. Then we move on to All for One against All Might. As All Might or All for One says, pick your choice. These lizard. Will you save All Might and let your school die? Or have, because All for One planned ahead of building a rocket ship and or nuclear rocket that is so devastated, or save your school but lose your symbol of peace. As he's thinking, he says, let me think about that. As he's secretly telepathically tells his mother, or like told all the species of that to go find that nuclear bomb. So they did. As he says, I already made up my mind. I save All Might. As he goes full on sprint and like he attacks All for One. And yeah, he literally bit a guy's head off and the he went in and swallowed his head, and like it was pretty gruesome. And yeah, his mother was proud, and he like looks up, and he looks at, of course, All For One, or actually All For One released a new thing, and but nothing happens. Like what? What the heck? As all for or he says, my species just canceled your like world ruler her and extra graves, but there's only one. That would be you. As he literally ate the guy's entire body, All For One's body. Like he looked like he was all bloody. Yeah, so Toga likes him about that. So, and so I know that it's Toga that likes him all bloody. And everyone that saw it was like, oh boy. As he says, that would be enough chow down on a person's body. As he walks away. Or like, he goes back to his. And hilarious part, he already knew his or her parents before meeting her. So basically, he always comes in and visits with his mother. And they both like were scientists. So yeah. It was bring your like kids to work day kind. So he says, funny meeting you here. As yeah, so Frog Girl says that to him. Well, I hope my mom didn't like bother you with her intimidation. As he like turns and looks at her, and she says, or telepathically tells him, don't worry, I didn't. As yeah. So they or all like both of them and her were curious of what they're her doing. As the mother says, "Oh, that's the how they communicate. It's thought communication. It's how they communicate between each others. It's how the species of it works." So then, like, I'm skipping the rest. So, like, dodgeball and like the All For One. Let's talk a little bit about All For One's fight. It goes different. So the one of these species were or All For One was experimenting on this species. As Zuko heard that. And that made him mad. And Frog Girl looks at him and she knows that he's upset. She can tell that something's going wrong. As she asks Zuko, is there something wrong? As he says, or because actually the Sir Night Eyes says I think Zuko is having, or actually Lizard is having a anger issue because someone took, as he goes full on sprint, like went underground and like whoosh, went all the way to where, and yeah, he injured a lot of villains when he got to there. And yeah, he goes down and he saw a child. Looks just like her, but, or actually, it was Ares. As he turns and looks at him, or looks at her and says, "Oh, I really didn't like talk too much," or he like does that stuff, and he went over and like and set his species free, as they all go by like brother or sister, so he calls him brother. Thank you, brother. As yeah, so he took, or actually Zuko took Ares out of there, and yeah, he basically, when other pro hero shows up, they saw how destructive just one creature be. So yeah, then after they became pro heroes, or actually her parents, or actually she went and got dating Zuko. I keep calling him that. So then they had a kid, or two kids. One was a boy, one was a girl, and yeah, or both of them had same like, or they have a same sentient species. But they have way more like lizard and frog mixed together with that species. So yeah. And then all that stuff. So yeah. No one dies, surprisingly. Except for the doctor. Because the one of the quirk doctors that was working with All for One, and actually he All for One told him about it. So then all of these, the entire army went and killed, and yeah. So this is the end of the video, and I don't know if I can make any more after 1.5 days. Like tomorrow and then the half of Tuesday. So if this video gets one or more likes, then I'll do another one. Heck, I might do the what if Zuko had, or yeah, what if Zuko had Sunshine in my version. So, yeah. So, that's why, or do the SCP, or like, what if Zuko was a son of the flesh that hates? Because that one sounds like a funniest one that I ever could make. So, yeah, this is goodbye, and see you guys later.